Shewa Maha. I'm joined by the legendary runner and park runner, Jim Clinton. And Jim is maybe like a lot of runners. A lot of people think Jim started out in the 1968 Olympics in Mexico. But in fact, Jim, you are a late developer as regards running. So when did you take up the wonderful sport of running?
Uh, Very late in life. As I started about, I think, about a month or two before my 50th birthday.
And what the hell were you wasting the rest of your life not running? Did you play any football or anything? How did you keep fit? No.
Yeah, any sports except a small bit of boxing when I was in primary school. My father was a boxing coach. So other than that, no, I didn't do anything.
So why did you pick it up, and why did you keep at it? It's probably more important.
Well, I picked that up simply to lose weight. I had ballooned up till about 16 and a half stone. Tried a couple of times, lost it, but put it back on again. And then I started walking on a treadmill and just built it up from there. And the first race I'd done, I'd never run on the road. I'd ran all my training on a treadmill, and I went off and done a 10K. So that's how it came about. It was the weight loss aspect of it.
So let me ask you this, because I hate running in gyms. How did you find out at the start? Because I don't think you're a big treadmill guy. The rest of your running career, I wouldn't call it that, but how did you find that? And do you go back to running on treadmills?
No, I found it okay, and actually I like running on the treadmill. I've done a marathon on the treadmill to raise money for the local boxing club in
Wow.
George's Market. So no, and if there's any possibility of falling when the bad weather's about, I go to a treadmill.
Well, I was out on the run along Finney Road North on Sunday morning, and I passed Jimco at, I don't know, 9:30, and it was full of people running on treadmills, looking out the window, and us looking at them. And I thought to myself, wow, what a waste of time. Why wouldn't you be out in a beautiful, glorious, freezing, dangerously dark, frosty morning running on the road instead? But I suppose to each their own. But but the big question is, I mean, it's a question that people ask me, but why do you run? Why are you still running? Because I mean, you're not going to put the weight back on now. So why are you still running? Why do you run?
I run because I enjoy it. I enjoy the company. I enjoy the benefits of it. I disagree with you there on the weight thing. I think if I stopped running, I would put the weight back on again fairly quickly. And any time I'm injured, I would put on half a stone fairly quickly. So it's always a concern. Because it was so heavy, I want to see photographs of myself. I decided, no, I'll keep running. And then the other benefits flow from that. And if it's the health benefits, friendships, community, helping, volunteering, all came from the running.
So there's an interesting thing about, and it's not just as true about me now, but it was when I started running when I was 40, that actually, if you run, you can eat whatever you want. But once you stop running, you realize, oh no, no, I can't. I have to eat healthy, because the weight goes on fairly quick. So sure, it's the same for you. But tell me about that friendship, because you're usually always running in a group, whereas I'm, plodding along, lonely, painting on my own. But you're always with a group. So I mean, is that people that you know? Are you on WhatsApp groups? People you've got to know? Do you join other people's groups?
Um, I did run on my own at the start, and then I was joined by one or two others, and it was the three of us for a number of years, and we ended up going to races together. And one guy I knew, the other guy I didn't know. He just stopped me in the street one day, see me running past his house, and he said, "Do you mind if I join you?" And I says, "Yeah, no problem." I go out on a Tuesday and a Thursday at 7 o'clock, and I opened the door. The next night I was running, and the guy standing at the end of my path waiting on me at 7 o'clock. So the three of us, as I say, ran for quite a while, and it has just built up from there. Some people we knew, some people just were told by others, listen, if you want to run and you don't want to take it too seriously, there's a group there, go and contact them. And it's built up now where we would have maybe 20 in a WhatsApp group, and we try to, we just, it doesn't get any bigger. We don't want it to get any bigger. We don't all be out at the same time. You could go some night and there could be two people. You could go other times and there could be 15 or 16 people. That's where it all came about, and that's how the group got bigger.
And do you have a name for this group?
We call ourselves the Freedom Runners.
It's good for you.
Simply because we do what we want, we go where we want, we don't raise money, we don't have subscriptions, we avoid money more than try to get into it. We do have t-shirts and things, but they were ordered and paid for individually. We didn't say we'll have money in a kitty. I just think when money comes into certain things, it creates problems. And we work more as a collective. We have drinks and chocolate and unhealthy things for the end of the run. And whoever wants to buy it buys it. And it's kept in my car usually, unless I'm injured and I'm not going to be there. And then I hand it over usually to Brian Murray and he would bring it along. So that's why, and that's why we chose that name. You know, other people think it's for a different reason. It's not. It's simply because we do whatever we want. Freedom to come and go wherever we want, start wherever we want, finish wherever we want.
Well, I love that because I decline the invitation to go into WhatsApp running groups, but I just turn up and nobody's ever turned me away yet. I think even Jim, you even got me security cleared to run with you guys for a short period as well.
You were tipped in and out of our wee group
Yeah.
years ago and hopefully enjoyed it.
Yeah. So that's the freedom. That's the freedom that you can turn up or not turn up. But the wonderful thing about running is no one will ever say to you if you turn up for a running group, sorry, you're not in this group. You know, everybody's welcome. But tell me about there's a saying in Irish, Gurrian Birch Boher, which is basically too short in a road. Do you find that's true when you're running with other people? Is it easier? Is
Yes.
it enjoyable?
I even though I say I enjoy the treadmill and I do and I don't have any problem with it, I feel like a 10K run is longer on a treadmill than it is out on the road. Mentally, obviously not physically, but mentally it is, and it seems to take a lot longer. Where if you're out and you're talking, providing you're running at a pace that you can talk. So our group would split up even on a night out, and there is faster runners, obviously, but we tend to start at the same time, finish at the same time. We have a conversation beforehand. We have a conversation afterwards. So perfect is out on the road. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Just at my age, I'm just concerned about falling. And if I see snow or ice, I'm on a treadmill.
Yeah. No, I understand that, but there's no doubt in my mind as well. If you're training for a marathon, if you can do it with other people, it,
Yes.
it doesn't seem like an ordeal at all for to get out there. But you brought the seal of the convert to running because no sooner had you started running, but you started make sure you never missed a park run. So tell us about your park run because you're known as ParkRun Jim, and that's uh, earned you a lot of acclaim and friendship. But tell us about then the park run. I mean, are you all parts of your life you sort of like addicted to stuff that you only learned about and you said, I'm never going to stop this?
I do think I'm an addictive type of person. No matter what I get into, that's it. It's all or nothing. And the park runs became certainly part of my life. And they started shortly after I started running. I mean, I started running maybe say October, November, 2009, and then January of the following year, I started the park runs, and I just got hooked right away. It was also the freedom aspect of it, where you turned up, you ran, and you left, and you didn't have to race anybody, you didn't have to worry about anything, and everybody was friendly, and it was well organized. So it just progressed from there, and literally for 10 years, I didn't miss. I think in the 11 years that I ran, I'd missed 11 park runs, something like that. There was some sort of statistic that I'm not into them and that, but people contacted me when I was getting close to milestones and saying, this is what you've done, this is where you've done it. And I mean, I sort of looked at them to keep me up to date. I only check the park runs not that often now, to be honest. I know I'm on 663 at the minute,
If you,
but I mean, there's a lot of people now who have passed me by.
wow.
When I got the 500, I sort of eased off because,
And that was 2022. That's 4 years ago, January 22.
yeah, it was more that those 10 or 11 years were full on, and it was every week you had to go. You weren't missing, you were avoiding going places that there wasn't a park run. You were going holidays and coming back for a park run. when I think back, it, sometimes I'd say that was bad, leaving your wife with two grandchildren in Majorca and the three of them crying at a bus stop. And I'm going, that's bad. I'm saying that now. At the time, I didn't. I just got on the bus and went home and flew back out the next day. But that was just it. And that's the way it did grip me. But I enjoyed every minute of it. I still enjoyed it. I mean, I'll be there on Saturday. If I miss one now, I don't worry and I don't get frustrated, which I was doing. And I thought that was a wee bit unhealthy, because the whole idea of it is that the community get you out of the house, get you exercise, make you feel better, talk to other people. And then I was getting frustrated about not going and missing them and stuff like that. So I've eased off, but I'm still there. I'm still doing the park runs.
So, but it's important because even though you're running every week, you're still very much the volunteer ethos. You still help park runs. You helped other people get involved in park run, and certainly during that period as well, you're a great ambassador for park run. But you're also a great park run volunteer. You're not one of those people that turns up every week and expects everybody else to look after them. I mean, you're someone who's really embodies the park run ethos. Perhaps more now when you have more time, but you're a great ambassador for park run.
Well, I think that you have to get back in every walk of life, whether it's park running, whether it's even running with my own group. You know, if you get there and you're organized and everybody then turns up, but if you don't go and people miss it, and people say, well, we didn't go down because we thought you weren't going to be there. And now I try and just do it, but with a bit of sort of thought for other people, not just for myself, and make sure they're okay. And if I'm turning up on a Tuesday or a Thursday or a Saturday or Sunday morning, and then I'm going from those runs to the park run, I mean, I feel that even if I turn up and I'm talking to people about park run, and they ask me, and I talk to them and say, well, I've done this many, and especially when new people come along, and I mean, I try and encourage ones, even in the workplace and stuff like that. If I sign them up, if we get a new employee, they go home the first week with a barcode, usually, and say, listen, you need to come and go and do it and try it. And some of them are still doing it. And some of the people that I run with go to park run fairly regularly. And just because I, not say made them, I gave them an opportunity to say, give me a barcode, Jim. Some people didn't have access to computers or whatever. So I was sending it to my computer. I would register them, laminate the barcode, and then hopefully they turn up.
So the other thing that you have a reputation for, you're a great pacer. So, at the SPAR Craic 10K, you're a pacer, but in many races, you're out there encouraging other people on and working as a pacer. I think your marathon pace is 2:30, is it? Sorry, it's 5:30. Sorry, no, we're joking. But
My fastest marathon pace is 3:33.
Oh well, that's very commendable. That's very
which was and I when I do look at that, I go, well, I was probably 55 or 56. Didn't start running till I was 50. I'm delighted with that time. The pacing is another job that I enjoy doing, and that's why I do it. And even when I was running faster, I always picked the slowest pace group because that's generally the biggest pace group, and it's the group that needs the most encouragement.
Yeah.
So I always, 10Ks always paced 60 minutes. And if it was in the park run, I would have sort of tried to get the 30-minute pace bib or the 35-minute pace bib. And because I get more out of it when you have a bigger crowd and you're encouraging them home, and there's nothing like, going through the Armo Park, heading towards the finish line, doing the Craic 10K, and there's maybe 20 or 30 people still with you.
No, it's unbelievable. So it is. Yeah.
Pacing's good.
Yeah, just another thing, just about the like I'm not a sports person, but I do enjoy running for all the reasons you say. But I'm just wondering as well, do you follow then running as a sport? Do you follow the 1500 meters? Do you follow marathon? Would you know who the fastest marathon runner in the world is? Do you go to meets? Because I've interviewed my dear friend Davy Seaton, who's founder, president of Athletics in Iran when he was in Estonia, ran for North Belfast Harriers as a young man. Trained the Northern Ireland cross country team. but I'm not of that world. I wouldn't turn the TV on to watch runners, although I hear some of the Marty Dean and other people talking about them and admiring their ability. But do you follow the sport as a sport of running?
Not one bit.
Isn't that
No.
is that do you
Wouldn't
find that
have found
strange
it
at all?
on.
Do you find that strange at all? You think it's just different? Is it too
No.
different?
Oh, I think that what we have within our group and the Freedom Runners, in our community is what we need. We need. I don't know anybody within my group of runners that follows running,
Yeah, as a
but they
sport, yeah.
turn up 4 and 5 and 6 days a week and run. So, and I get the point. Is that a contradiction? No, I don't think it is. I mean, I run, first of all, I ran for myself. Now I run to encourage other people and just to get out of the house and stay social and meet people and talk to people. So I don't need to turn a television on to watch that. I can go down and stand on the towpath if I'm injured and get on a bike and see people running. And at the minute, I mean, everybody knows like running's booming and Belfast is no different to anywhere else. I mean, if you go out on a Sunday morning along the towpath, if you're walking on it, you're taking your life in your hands because there could be 30 people coming towards you at any one time. So that's where I would sort of gravitate towards, not the television. I do read the odd bit in the newspapers, but generally, no, I don't follow it.
Yeah, so I think that's unusual. I think if for the sport, but I'm in the same boat. I'm not necessarily proud of it, but I'm in the same boat. Let me just finish with this. You mentioned the word earlier on, because if you're not running because you're obsessed with watching the greatest runners in the world on TV or watching the league tables or watching even the gold medal tables at the Olympics, medal tables, then you run. Part of the reason you run is for community. So talk to me just a little bit about that. I mean, do you see it as something that it's just a byproduct, or do you consciously say, no, I want to encourage these people to run because being makes the community stronger and it's part of building community? Do you ever give that any thought or not?
I give more thought to people's well-being.
Yeah.
And I can talk about our group, and we have literally from unemployed people through tradespeople, through school teachers, lawyers, the whole gambit of the workforce. But they all have one thing in common, and they all have their own problems, and we all run to help each other. And sometimes we branch off, and it may be on a one-to-one, or it may be a group of 3 or 4. But there's always, you can say whatever you want and tell whatever you want. It stays within the group. And I would be more concerned around that, particularly with my own group of people. And I always enjoy, I mean, I try and encourage that you need to get out of the house. Come on out. Even if you're injured, come down and meet us. Stand for 10 minutes beforehand. If you can't run, walk. And I'll do that. And if somebody comes along and they'll do it for me, if I'm injured, I get emails saying or text messages saying, Jim, come on out. I'll walk with you tonight,
Mm.
and vice versa. And that's what we do. And that's where we get the benefit of it. I don't think to me, I don't want it to be very technical or highbrow or anything like that. I just want it to be what's beneficial for runners or walkers or anybody who wants to come out of the house.
Yeah, it's funny. You're reminding me of a man behind me here, Martin Luther King, and he said we always must make progress. And I paraphrase, of course, but something if you can run, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But always go forward. And I think that's, and I see that now in one of the Sunday groups I was in. The people are right beforehand. Some of them now walk. Some of them run very short distances. But it's a great sense of connectivity in a world where people are often isolated. Look, I want to thank you for making this SPAR Craic 10K possible. Your work of ambassadorship for that and leadership and encouraging other people to take part in it and turning up very early in the morning with a big smile and getting out there and pacing and so on. So, final word to you. We know there'll be some people running the SPAR Craic 10K for the first time this St. Patrick's Day, and sometimes even if it's a cold morning, some people say, I'm not going to try that. What would you say to someone who's this is their first big one, maybe they've been practicing a little bit. What would you say to encourage someone who isn't sure about continuing it running to stick at it?
the hardest part, and everybody says it, is getting out the door. Once you're out the door, it doesn't matter whether it's raining, because when you start running, and if you're running in a group like what turns up on St. Patrick's Day when you're 4,000 or 5,000 people, that will carry you along. It carries all groups along, and that's the idea of the pacers. I mean, and anybody is starting out, and usually when you're starting out, you're slightly slower than the next person. You'll get carried along. You'll enjoy the atmosphere. The day itself, whether it's raining or sunny or whatever, it won't make any difference. Once the race kicks off, well, then that's you. You're in, and if you have pacers there, follow the pacers. I'm a big, not because I'm a pacer, even if I'm doing a race, I look for the pacers and stand beside those pacers, and I stay with them. So I would encourage anybody who's doing the Craic 10K, pick your pacer, pick your time, be realistic, and stay with them. Don't try and pace yourself. If there's a 1 hour pacer there and you think you can do it 1 hour, well then don't be waiting. Go and find them. Stay with them. If it's 30-minute pacer or 35 or 40-minute pacer, whatever pacers are there, find them at the very start of the race and stay with them, and it'll make your race more enjoyable. And when you go across the finish line and everybody's happy and it's wonderful, stay with them, work hard, you'll enjoy it, and you'll come back again.
Jim, thanks very much. Got a kid, I hope to see you on St. Patrick's Day bright and early with your Pacers balloon and your Pacers flag and your Pacers t-shirt and everything else. So listen, thanks very much. Thank you.